Hello everyone. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Getting Results in Business series. Today we are going to be doing an amazing class, giving you lots of key expressions for talking about services and systems. Particularly, that's a difficult word to say, particularly when you're at work and you need to adopt a new service that brings with it complicated systems that need to be explained. You probably need to convince people that it's the right choice, and you probably need to explain how the systems work. So today we're going to give you a chance to do exactly that. Before we begin, let me do a quick introduction and get my name on the screen, which you will see in just a second. And there you go. I'm John Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, coming at you today from Lisbon, Portugal, to bring you this class. And if you click on the link that I'm posting right now in the Verbling chat window, boom, there you go. You can follow me to see all my upcoming classes, and you can even book a group class. By the way, I've taught over 1,000 classes here on Verbling since joining in February 2013. But over the last 15 years, I've taught general English to teens, to adults, business English at major multinationals, some of which you might have heard of, BP, Deloitte, Prada, BCG, Bain Capital, and other places, and academic academic English, like the IELTS, the TOEFL, and other sorts of exam courses. So follow me to see all my upcoming classes by clicking the follow button at that link that I posted for you. But also book a tutoring session with me to see what a custom tailored lesson is like. Group lessons are great for general practice and fun, but serious progress comes from a personal learning plan designed for you specifically with me. I'll create that plan with you in a private tutoring class, and we will get you to your goal as fast as possible. So think about that. Just send me a message first, because I'm a little bit booked right now and I want to find time for you in my schedule. Don't forget, there's a special offer right now in Verbling. I think today is the last day, the April Showers offer, where you get a free tutoring class if you buy a package, and you have to put in the code April Showers. You were sent an email about it, so go through your email, you'll see the code, and you can place it there when you book the class, okay? So that's a little bit about me. I want to get started, and I'll be saying hello to everyone as we have people come in. Let me get the material for you on the screen, and then we will start. So first of all, here is the link in the chat window. There you go. Here is the note material, our notes. You don't have to open this, by the way, because I'm going to share my screen, but if you want to, there it is. And before we begin, let's say a quick hello to Mr. Diego, who's joining us right now. Hello, Diego. How are you?
Fine, and you?
Very good. Where are you from, Diego?
I'm from Chile.
From Chile. Oh, what time is it? It must be early in the morning.
It's very early. 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Oh, go
Yes.
back to sleep, Diego. It's too early. Go back to sleep. Mr. Diego, while we're waiting for some other people to join us, because we have a sold-out class, so people should be coming in soon, if they're not asleep, then let me just show you what we've been doing and what we're going to do today, okay? So I'm going to scroll down in the notes, and let's see if I updated the class. Oh, I don't know if I did update the class. So let me do this. I'm going to make a quick update. So on Tuesday, 2 days ago, we focused on describing services that we use and how they make life easier. That was Tuesday's class. Let me make a new summary for yesterday because I forgot to do it, just so you know what we've been doing. And by the way, don't worry about what you missed because these are business classes, but they're conversation classes. So you can come and go freely, and you'll always have a chance to review or learn things that you might have missed in the previous classes. Okay, so let's do a quick summary of yesterday. The basic thing yesterday was we learned how to describe a service or system that we use. Also, we learned, I'll say, key phrases show why it's beneficial. Focus on those two things. So what? Why was that important? Well, it was important because of the key phrases in particular, and maybe I'll show you the material and then we'll get started, okay? Welcome to class, Lena, as well, and Tanya. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you.
Hello.
Hello, Tanya. Hello, Lena. Say again, Tanya?
Hello, nice to see you too.
Ah, okay. Hello. Lena, are you there as well? Hello, Lena? Hello, Lena. Oh, Lena's shy today. She's shy. She'll be back. Probably having some connection problems.
Yes.
All right. Well, I don't know where the other three, I don't know where the other 6 people are, but we're going to get started with or without them because we're going to lose time. So let me show you first, Diego, because you weren't here. Yesterday, we worked on our business skills, as I just mentioned, explaining how something works. And first, I explained the system to the class. You had to guess what it was. And then I gave you all a chance to explain a system of your own and get used to some of the vocabulary. In particular, we worked on explaining the process. And so in the so what was the purpose of that? Now you know sequence words like first, then, after that, finally. That's one set of words that we learned. Now what? What should you do with that? You should practice describing your own service or system and send it to me for correction. You can do that as a writing and use the Verbling chat window if you like. Not the chat window, but the message window. So that was Wednesday, 29th, and that was class 3. Okay? Don't worry, we're going to review all of that and use it today. Okay? Now, yesterday, oh, Lena, are you back? Is your microphone working?
Hi, John, Eric. Hi, everyone. Yes, everything is okay. Just I had some technical problems, but now I'm here.
Okay, no problem.
Thanks for asking.
No problem. Okay, so yesterday we started with something really simple. I described an espresso machine. Today, I'd like to talk about something a little bit more complex, something you might have to work with at work. So we had a little discussion about databases, and we did a quick listening activity. But because you weren't here, Diego, I think we ought to review that by reading it instead of listening, and then do a quick review of the vocabulary and then move on. At the end of class, you're going to have the opportunity to put that vocabulary and those key expressions into use. At the very end, not the very end, in the last 15 minutes of class, we're going to do a big speaking activity. And just to give you a quick preview of what I mean, give me just a second here. You're going to basically compare the functionality of different objects in part of your service, equipment, or systems by making a list of benefits and drawbacks of each one, and then comparing it. And then you're going to apply that to something you might have to do at work. Think of something that has changed recently at work. Tell us about the benefits or drawbacks of it. So just to put that into practice and plug it into reality, something that you really have to deal with. Okay? So that's the plan. Let's try it together. Here we go. Let's do a quick review. We need, this is really only one person speaking. It's really the presenter. But for now, let's divide it up. It's the presenter, the staff, the staff, they don't really have a role here. It's really two people reading. Okay? So, Mr. Diego, would you like to do some reading for us today?
Okay.
Okay. Why don't you take the role of the presenter? Lena, you take the role of the manager. Tanya and I are going to listen and take notes. Okay? For the moment. Maybe
I am presenter.
You're the presenter for today. Okay? Go for it.
Thanks for coming today. As you know, we have a new customer database. Database.
Good. And the staff say, hooray! And the manager says, Lena?
Well, nothing could be as slow as the old system.
Yes, well, as I say, the good news is we have a new database. But the bad news is that it will take a few weeks before we can use it in all our hotels. Now, it might seem a bit difficult to use at first, but in fact, it's very simple. Your staff will need some training on how to use it. Some the purpose of today is for you to start to become familiar with it.
One pronunciation word, Diego. Purpose.
Purpose.
Okay, careful, because it's not an O. It looks like an O, but it's not pronounced O. Purpose.
Purpose.
Good.
Purpose.
Good. Lena? Oh, no, it's still you. Sorry. Diego, it's still you.
It's very long.
Yes, this is long.
Now, out on the screen, you can see what happens when you open the program. It looks very similar to the old database, but what's different is this bottom half. Soon as you type in the detail, it starts to just suggest what kind of room the customer might like and what room are free. In other words, as well as giving the customer more of what they want. It also makes it quicker to process.
To process. Good.
To process booking for a regular customer and give them their favorite room.
Favorite. Not favorite, but favorite. Very good.
Favorite.
All right, so take a minute and think about what he's saying. Is he... What's the situation in this little dialogue so far? Where are they? What's the situation?
It's a new program to install in... Huh?
Yes, I agree. Yep.
To program is I don't know. Is a new program. Present new program.
Exactly. So it's a presentation, in other words.
Okay. Presentation.
Yeah. Okay. It's a presentation, and it's about a new application that's connected to an improved database, a new program, but we can also say application. a new program or application, and it's connected to a new improved database. Yesterday we did this as a listening, but I wanted you just to look again so that we can quickly take out some important key expressions that are there. Okay, so that's why we're reviewing it, all right? And Lena, we're going to switch up the readers now. Lena, what does the manager say?
Will it let me take notes on the client?
Well, let me take notes on the client. Okay, Tanya, take over as presenter now. Let's give Diogo a break.
Okay. Yes, you can type notes into these sections for future reference. Reference. For example, if you want to advertise a special promotion to male customers over the age of 40, then it will tell you who they are.
And Leo, Mr. Leo, why don't you take over as manager for the last part here? Okay?
Okay. How does it know what to watch? Match. Sorry.
Lionel, how does it know what to match? Repeat.
Oh, how does it know what to match?
Good.
Okay, I'm sorry. It has these drop-down menus which allow you to categorize the information when the booking is taken. The more detailed the information, the better the match. So, on the one hand.
No. Look again. Look again.
And so on the one hand.
Good.
It will take you more time to get the information, but on the other hand, we think it will save time later on.
By the way, not it will.
It
not
will.
It'll.
Okay. It'll.
It'll save time.
It'll save time.
Okay, good. And let's. So keep going, Leo.
So what happens when the customer doesn't want to tell you their age, for example?
Well, obviously, one downside is that you can't demand the information. But on the plus side, the customer can book online now, and hopefully they will. I don't know. They'll give us the extra information then. In the other words, the more they tell us, the quicker the booking is next time they call.
Okay, 2 words. First word,
okay.
Quicker.
Quicker.
Right. When you see the QU, it's usually a qua.
Okay, quicker.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
And another word, which is very important because we have to use it all the time. Listen to my pronunciation of the word customer. Customer.
Okay. Customer.
That's it. So it looks like oo, but it's not an oo, it's an a. Customer. Okay. Now take a minute and let that seep into your minds. Make sure that you comprehend what's going on here. There's a lot of information. Okay. I'm going to ask you a quick question or two to make sure it's clear. So based on what you read, what was one of the disadvantages? We're just going to ask general questions. What was one of the disadvantages? What can they do now with the new database? How is it similar? How is it different? So that's basically questions 1 to 4. Just to make sure that everything is clear because it's a lot of information. Okay, so one of the disadvantages was, class, any one of you can answer? One of the disadvantages was? Any one of you can answer?
Could be the old database is very slow.
Exactly. The old database is very slow. I think that was the main disadvantage. Diogo, you started to say something too, I think. Did I cut you off?
When can they use the new database?
When can they use the new one? That was the part that you were reading. Can they use it right away? Can they use it immediately? Do you remember? If you don't remember, I'll be happy to tell you, because it's not that important.
Okay. I pass. I don't remember.
We'll need some training.
It will need some training, right? Yeah. So, you're right, Jose. So it can't be used right away because it needs some training. And it sounds like it's a bit complicated technically, so it needs to be implemented. So for those two reasons, it'll take a few weeks. That's okay. How is it similar to the old database? Did anyone pick that up? Remember a similarity?
Yes, it's similar.
In what way? Think of one similarity. What comes to mind? What does it do that the old database also did?
Don't remember.
Does it look the same or different?
When you open the program, you can see what happens, no?
What do you mean? Does it look the same or different?
What is the same in the old program and in the new program?
Exactly. It looks the same. It looks the same, basically. But there is a difference. Do you remember what the new thing was? It looks the same, but there is a difference. Something about the bottom half of the screen.
Yes, the new program have a button on the screen that when you push this button, you can make a book, no?
You can make a booking.
A booking. You can make a booking.
Right. Okay. Is that clear, everyone? Lena, Mr. Leo, is that clear?
For me, with the new database, when the customer start writing in a field,
right, in a field.
Yes, then the system suggests the words.
Exactly. The system suggests rooms that might match with what the customer wants. Makes suggestions for you. You can say it like that. It makes suggestions for you right away when you start typing in the field. It's when it finds matches. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's good enough for now because this is just a review. Now, yesterday we finished class more or less here, but I think it's worth doing a quick review because the purpose of listening to that is to listen to how a native speaker talks about pros and cons. That's the language I want you to learn and remember. How does a native speaker discuss the pros and the cons of a system? Here, we're only taking the expression. You don't see the entire sentence. Okay, now we did this yesterday, but a quick review for those of you who were here. Lena, the good news is it matches with?
But the bad news is?
Exactly. The good news is, but the bad news is. Right. So that matches with C. Jose, it might seem a little difficult to use at first.
Yes. It might seem a bit difficult to use at first. but in fact, it's very simple.
Perfect. Mr. Diego, it looks very similar to... See if you can match that up.
It looks very similar to older bus date, but it's very different in new application.
Yeah, so it matches with A, in other words. But what's different is... So you said the key word, different. It looks similar to, but what's different is... So number... By the way, can you see the slide on the screen? Okay, Diego?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. So number 3 matches with A. You already said the key word, which is different. So it matches with A, just to make sure we're on the same place. You're absolutely right. It looks very similar to, number 3, A, but what's different is. Okay, very good.
Okay.
So that we're clear. Tanya, number 4.
As soon as you...
Blah, blah, blah.
It starts to...
Blah, blah, blah. Don't forget your blah, blah, blah. Lionel,
Okay.
Lionel, number 5.
Sorry.
Go
Leonel?
ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. In other words, as well as the better.
Sorry? The better now.
The better.
As
No?
well as... No. As well as being cheap, as well as being, as well as doing, as well as speaking. You've got the ing form. The better doesn't work with that, doesn't match. Want to make a second guess? I'll give you a hint. As well as is the same as and. So this one is about adding information. It's not about contrasting.
Mm-hmm.
Does that help?
Yes. Yes, please.
Let's see. Lena, what would you say? Oh, I'm sorry. Leo, do you have a guess?
That could be. No. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Lena, help him out. What do you think?
In other words, as well as doing something, it also blah blah blah.
It also, exactly. So it matches with B. And you know that because as well as means and also means and. Okay, so it gives you the idea that we're adding information. Okay, so now that was number 5. Number 6, I don't know, I lost my place. Jose, I think we're on you. Number 6.
Yes, number 6.
Number 6. The more.
The more the more you do it, the blank you get at it. The more you
do it. That's not.
The less you do it, the worse you get. The more you do it, the
better?
Of course. The less, the worse, the more, the better.
Okay. The more, the better.
That's it.
Okay.
Okay. Diego, what do you think about number 7?
On the one hand, but in the other side.
Side?
Oh.
Not other side. Other.
Oh.
On the one. Yeah. On one hand and on the other hand. That's it.
Okay.
Okay?
On the other side. Okay.
That's it. On the one hand, on the other hand. And Tanya, last one, number 8.
One downside is, but on the plus side.
The downside and the plus side. Exactly. Those are the key expressions that you heard yesterday and that you read today. All of them are contrasting expressions except 4 and 5. As soon as, and in other words, as well as. 4 and 5 are describing and adding details. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 are all contrasting and comparing. That's where we left off. Let's make some new ground today. Imagine your company has some new software for storing customer information, kind of like the little dialogue that we just read. Make some sentences using some of the phrases from exercise 3 that we just did, and use these prompts. Okay? For example, the good news is we have some new software, but the bad news is we need 6 months training to use it. Now, let's use the prompts at the bottom. So the first is new software, 6 weeks training. I'm going to call on you. You do the next number. See if you can create a sentence using those key phrases and the prompt that I give you. Let's try it. There's no creativity here. It's pure mechanical sentence construction. So you don't have to use your imagination here. Leo, what do you think about number 2? Give it a try. Use any key expression that you think fits.
I don't understand the exercise.
The exercise is try to use a key expression, a contrast expression, like the more the better, but you have to decide which expression matches the best with the situation. So in the situation, number 2, press this button, look for the customer name. Imagine you have a new database, right? And you're explaining how it works. You're explaining why it's good, let's say. So what key expression do you think could help express that idea, number 2?
Okay. As soon as you press this button, it starts to look for the customer name.
It starts to look.
Starts.
I agree completely.
Starts.
That's it. As soon as you press the button, it starts to look for the customer's name. Perfect. It's the best match. Perfect. Lena, number 3, the old system.
Hold on a second. I need to think.
You need to faint? Think or faint?
Think. To think.
Okay. I thought you were going to pass out. Don't pass out.
No. It looks very similar to the old system, but what's different is the quantity of information it can store.
I agree completely. So this is a contrast. It looks the same, but something is different. But what's different is. Now listen, everyone. That example is kind of important. It's what we call a cleft sentence in English. Cleft sentence. You know a cleft sentence because it normally begins with what. Instead of saying it is different, you draw extra emphasis or you put extra stress on a major idea by saying what was the exact thing that you said? You said what's different is, right? What is different is, or what is adjective is, like this in the chat window. The cleft sentence, there's more than one kind, but the kind you're seeing here begins with what, and it's a way to give extra emphasis or stress. What's different is the quantity of information. What's good about it is that anyone can use it. What's hard for me was, what was hard for me was, put it in the past or in the present. Okay? So, Lena, what word begins a cleft sentence normally?
With what is
Exactly.
different or what is plus adjective.
Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure it was clear. So
Yes.
now you know what a cleft sentence is,
Yes.
and you can use it to give some variety in your sentence structure or to add special stress, special emphasis. Okay, very good, very good. So, where are we? I lost my place. Who's next? I don't know where we are. I think we're on Jose, but I could be wrong. Jose?
Yes.
Number 4, I think.
Okay. Storing basic information finds more information. In other words, as well as storing basic information, it also finds more information.
I agree. It's not a contrast. Here it's
No,
a description. Exactly.
it's a
Very good.
description, not a
That's it.
contrast.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good. All right. Diego, what do you think about 5?
Okay. Um, um, okay. The more information you get, the better, easier it to target customers.
Pronunciation. Target.
Target.
Yeah, with a hard G. Okay?
Okay. Target.
So, say it one more time for me so I can hear it nice and fluently.
Okay. The more information you get, the better, easier it is to target customers.
There's a better match. The more, I agree. That part I agree. But better is in parentheses because you don't have to use only better. You could use any kind of adverb or comparative adjective. Any kind. And so here, you already have it. Easier. So you don't even need the word better. Yeah, you don't need it. You can just take it out of the sentence. Just take it out. The more information you get, the easier it is to target customers. The more, the easier. Okay? So because it's in parentheses, it means you can choose any word you like that fits that category. The category is comparative adjectives, I guess. Like good, better, best. Bad, worse, worst. Is that clear, Diego?
So.
So. Let's make it clear. You don't have to use better. You can use any word that fits. In this case, you have a word given to you. Easier. It's already there, so you don't need to say better. Let's think of another example, Diego.
Okay. I use better or easier.
Or anything. Or anything. Anything you want.
Okay. Better, worse. The worst.
Do you know? Who's in the picture with you, Diego? In your picture, it's you and who's the little one in the red hat?
My daughter.
Exactly. Now, when a child is learning a new skill, a child will often get very frustrated because they're inexperienced and they don't understand how long it takes to learn something. What advice would you give to your daughter using that same expression? The more, the better. The more, the easier. What advice do you think you could give to your daughter if she was learning how to ride a bike, for example? What could you say to her?
Okay, my kid.
Yeah. What advice could you give to your daughter if she was learning something new? For example, maybe she was learning how to ride a bike. What could you say to her so that she doesn't give up?
Mm.
Starting with the more.
Okay.
What do you think?
The more the mass. No.
She says this to you, Diego. She says, Daddy, Daddy, I don't know how to ride a bike. I don't know how to ride a bike. I give up. Oh no, I'm never going to learn. I'm never going to learn. What do you say to her? No, no, it's not true. The more you do what? The more you?
Can I give an example, teacher?
Sure, do it.
The more you practice, the faster you learn.
Sounds good to me. What do you think, Diego? Good advice?
Okay.
So I want you to get to practice too. The more you practice, the faster you learn. For example, the more you practice, the faster you learn. Okay? Well, we're gonna put this into practice ourselves in just a moment. Once we've done this part, we're gonna do a bit of speaking. The last one, number 6. Who wants it? Last one.
I think it's me.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, don't worry.
One of you.
Okay. Let me see the 6. The system is more complicated. Okay. One downside is the system is more complicated, but on the plus side, it is faster.
I agree. So this is another way to talk about pros and cons. It is a contrast. One downside is, but on the plus side. Okay. Here on your screen is a summary of all the key expressions we've just learned and practiced. They're all here on slide 9. At any point, go to slide 9 to refresh your memory. It's there. And don't forget, you can always download the presentation to your computer by clicking on this link in the chat window. So we've learned how to explain how something works, because we heard it and we read it. How to explain additional benefits. The more the better. How to ask about functionality. That was what the manager was asking to the presenter. Will it let me search for customer names, for example? And finally, comparing and contrasting. On the one hand, it's expensive, but on the other hand, it'll save money in the long run. The good news is it's easy to use, but the bad news is it'll take a couple of weeks to implement it. All of these are the key expressions that we've just been practicing. Now over to you. Compare the functionality of the objects, systems, or services in 1 to 3. Now, you can choose anything you want, but I have some suggestions for you there on the screen. Make a list of benefits and drawbacks of each, and more recent objects and systems. Benefits, pros. Drawbacks, cons. Number 1, CD players. Example, compared to CD players, MP3 players store more songs, are smaller, and more expensive compared to. So that would be a good example. And we can go back to any of our comparing and contrasting phrases. You could say, let's say that, okay, whereas before you had to use a CD, which was a physical thing you had to carry around, we now can store music in MP3 form, which means that we can have almost unlimited music stored on our MP3 players and devices, whereas before, we now. So any way you want to use these, there's a way to make it fit. Okay? Mr. Leo, filing cabinets versus storage systems on your PC. I want you to compare the functionality. Tell me one thing you could say.
What is the filing cabinets?
I don't know. We have to ask someone else. Lena, what is filing cabinets?
I think it's just some kinds of maps where you store some documents. Am I right?
Not exactly, because it's a cabinet. A cabinet is actually like a piece of furniture.
I don't know. I don't know how to say it in English.
Let's see if I can give you a picture. Here it goes. Let's make it a little bit bigger. There you go. That is a filing cabinet, Mr. Leo.
Okay, yes, I know
Yeah.
that.
So I want you to make a statement comparing filing cabinets in the old days to folder storage systems on your PC or whatever you're using, tablet or laptop today. Remember, you can always cheat by going back to slide 9 and using a key expression, okay?
Okay.
So what would you say?
Um, um, whereas before we have the filing cabinet to archive the files. Right now we have the computer to do that, and
Is that better or worse?
this is better because we don't have to for example, we can use that online, and we don't have to have it in only one place.
Very good. Very good. So you can take that idea and you can say it in an even more concise way. Let me show you what I mean. Whereas before, we had to store our documents in one place. Now, what can we do, Leo? Now we can
have the
store. We can store.
We can store this information online in the network.
Exactly, in the network. Whereas before we had to store all our documents in one place. Now, or you could even say nowadays, we can access them anywhere, storing them online. Okay, so that's a different version of what you said. I'm trying to make it a little more concise and give you some suggestions of how a native speaker might say it. Can you see what I wrote in the chat window?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So concentrate on the benefits or drawbacks. Concentrate on the benefits or drawbacks here. Lena, take a look at going to the bank versus using an online bank.
There are both pros and cons of going into a bank. Comparing to going into a bank, using an online bank is immediate, time-saving, and efficient.
Very good. Good keywords.
But a drawback using an online bank it is that old people are not don't know how to use computers, or
Right.
online banking. That's why for them it's more convenient to go to the bank and to be consulted by a
Exactly.
person there.
Exactly. To be waited on or to be served
To
by
be
people.
served, yes.
Exactly. So in other words, what you're saying is compared to going into a branch, compared to going into the branch of a bank, online banking is more convenient, immediate, and you used another word too.
I said efficient and time saving.
Ah, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood. So I wrote convenient, immediate, but you said efficient and time saving. And notice, Lena, notice I said, look in the chat window, not comparing, but compared.
Compared.
That's it.
Yeah.
Compared to going into the branch of a bank. Online banking is more convenient, immediate, efficient, time saving, that kind of stuff. Excellent.
Efficient or effective? You wrote effective.
That was the autocorrect. Sorry.
Okay. Yes.
I tried to write efficient, but it didn't let me. Let me try again. That's what I wanted to write. Sorry. Or efficient. Blame Verbling. They're the ones who changed it. I tried to write efficient. All right, very good. So I want you to think about something at work. Tanya, what has changed at work recently? Has anything changed? There are some examples on the board, like working hours, breaks, supplies, measuring customer satisfaction. Can you think of a change that has recently occurred where you work?
Let me see. Yes, we have a changes. Let me see here.
What was the change?
Let me think. How can I explain? We needed to use the comparing. Yes?
Well, before you do that, tell us what the change was.
Okay. We have now we have a new unit in unit of the lab in the United States. So now we need to all time we need to talk with our my colleagues there. And,
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Now, what are some drawbacks or benefits of this new partnership with the U.S.?
So I need to be fluent in English.
That's part of it, yeah.
Yes, and the time is a little bit different. So I needed to sometimes I needed to wait the how can I say the work time start there to make a conversation or a call for them.
Do you use any special service to always be aware of the time? Because I use Time Buddy.
Sometimes I needed to solve some problem and I need to call them and I needed to wait the how can I say the timetable here in Brazil is different there, so I needed to wait my colleagues arrive to the lab.
Absolutely. Okay. So thinking in general about that new partnership, right? On the one hand, what? On the other hand, the good news is what? What the bad news is? What would you say?
The good news is have a unit in the United States, but the bad news is we need to be how can I say the The bad news is the timetable.
Is our
How can I?
timetable. Like this,
Sorry.
in the chat window.
Okay. Okay. Let me see. Yes, that's it. Yes.
Okay, very good. So I want you all to share something at work using this key language, but I also want you to, I'd like us all to have a little conversation in the last few minutes of class and ask
Okay.
some key questions. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you to speak freely. Since she's talking about that situation, what obvious question comes to mind, class? Give me a follow-up question for Tanya. By the way, you can also ask her to clarify the service or system that she's talking about if it's not clear. Okay? So give me one follow-up question. Leo, Lena, Jose, Diego. Based on what she said, what would you ask her? And then we're going to go to you next. Leo, Lena, Jose, Diego. One follow-up question. Lino?
Sorry, a question for Tanya
Yeah.
about what she said.
Yeah. In other words, we're going to share a new service or system that we're working with. Okay? And she's going to try to convince us of the benefit or maybe the drawback. I don't know. But she's going to try to convince us. I think it would be good to think about something that you have to do at work, a new service you have to adopt, or a new system you have to use. And we should ask questions. You should try to convince us of the benefit of that service or system. That's my suggestion for how to practice. Okay? So let's make this a little easier. Tanya, what specific service are you talking about? I know it's a partnership, but what specific service is it? What's the new service or the new system?
Okay. I can answer?
Yeah.
Okay. We work with genetic analysis.
Mm-hmm.
So we can offer better with a unit in the United States, we can offer a better price for our patients here in Brazil.
Okay.
So the technology is better too.
Okay, good. Say that again, but I want you to start with this keyword, Tanya. Put it into in a phrase that we've been using. Whereas before. Because you mentioned the good thing, the benefit is the price. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
So whereas before.
Now we have a good price.
No. Whereas before something. Whereas before, in other words, before the partnership, the prices were maybe higher. So whereas before we had to, whereas before we used to, whereas before you couldn't, but now you can. But now, so see if you can phrase it in that way.
Okay. Whereas before we had a higher price here in Brazil, and now we can offer a good price being in United States.
A better price.
A better price. Okay.
Okay, so that's the statement. Whereas before we had higher prices, now we can offer a better price. Or a better price. So, Leo, what would your question be to Tanya now? So I think it's a little bit clearer now. What would your question be? The obvious question.
The obvious question.
Yeah, whatever it is. About why it's beneficial, for example.
I had one question, but she said before. How many time she had to wait for them?
Not how many times, but how long?
How long? How long?
Can I answer now?
Yeah, he's asking you.
Okay. Now it depends of the period of the year. Now I wait 2 hours because they're in a summer. How can I say? Summer time.
Summertime? Yeah.
Yes, in the summertime. So I can now I can wait 2 hours.
But
okay.
in daylight savings time, the hour is different, I guess. Daylight savings, when you change the hour. You don't change the hour according to when it's spring or fall? Spring ahead, fall back. So maybe
here no.
No, you don't do that?
No. We always have the same time.
Where are you? You're in Brazil?
No, I am in Argentina.
Argentina. You don't change the hour in Argentina? Really?
No.
Who knew? You learn something new every day.
Yes.
Now you know. All right. Well, listen, we're at the end of the hour here, so we're going to stop. But I have actually 2 homeworks for you to do to practice both the key phrases from before, or from today, and the key vocabulary from earlier. Diego already left. I wanted to tell him this. So I'm going to post it in the notes. Homework 1 is already there. Later today I'm going to add homework 2. So you can go at any point to the notes, click on the link, try it on your own, and you can correct your answer on the last page. If I remember, I will send a link to you through the chat window, but I will probably forget. So if I forget and you want it, send me a message. But basically it'll be there on whatever that is, page 3 or 4 of the notes. You'll see it. Okay?
Okay.
So do that for some extra practice. We'll be back
John.
for this class next Monday, and we're going to take it a step further, talking about systems and services. I'll be back tomorrow for 2 hours, learning from pictures and great short stories. Bye for now,
Okay.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye, teacher.